Hello students, welcome to MJC Learning. Today we will do the fourth part of the chapter number 9. The name of the chapter is Money Market and Capital Market in India. Hello students, now in this fourth part of the chapter we will learn about the cooperative banks, development financial institutions and discount and finance house of India. Now let us first start with the cooperative bank. So what is cooperative bank? First of all, we must know that for the first time the cooperative bank in India came into existence in the year 1904. So when did the cooperative bank came into existence? It came into existence in the year 1904. The main aim of the cooperative bank is to support the need of the local population. So the cooperative bank came into existence to meet the need of the local population, to fulfill the banking needs, also to fulfill the banking needs of the small and the medium income group people. So for the first time it was established in the year 1904 in order to meet the need of the local population, to fulfill the banking need of the small and the medium income group peoples. The cooperative credit sector mainly comprises of the primary cooperative credit society. So the cooperative bank comprises of the primary cooperative credit society first. Second one is district central cooperative bank, district central cooperative bank, and the third one is state cooperative bank. So these are the three main sectors of the cooperative bank. The first one is cooperative credit society, second one is district central cooperative bank, and the third one is state cooperative bank. Now this diagram explains the three-tier cooperative credit structure. This diagram shows the structures of the cooperative credit society. On the topmost part, that is showing the pink one, that it deals with the state level cooperative bank. It is the apex of all the cooperative bank. The second one is district central cooperative bank, and the third one is primary cooperative credit society. So this triangular part of the diagram explains the three tier of the cooperative credit structure. The first, that is the apex part, is state cooperative bank, second is the district central cooperative bank, and the third is primary cooperative credit societies. Now let us start with the development financial institutions. Next one is the development financial institution. What is development financial institution? Development financial institutions are agencies to provide the medium and the long term financial assistance. So what is DFI? DFI is an institutions which provide medium and long term financial assistance. It helps in the development of industry, agriculture and other key sectors. So it provides the long term and the medium term financial assistance. It also helps for the development of agriculture, industry and other key sector. Industrial Finance Cooperative of India, that is IFCI, was for the first time established in the year 1948. So IFCI was for the first time established in the year 1948. So what is DFI? DFI is nothing but it provides the medium and long term financial assistance. It helps for the development of industry and agriculture. DFI have also diversified operations after liberalization and globalization. So it provides the wide range of services after liberalization and globalization. It has also established the subsidiaries to offer the new services like consumer finance, broking, venture capital finance, infrastructure finance, and e-commerce, etc. Now the DFI are in the process of converting themselves into the universal bank. Now these DFIs are in the process to convert themselves the bigger banks, that is the universal bank. RBI has also issued the guidelines for the development of DFIs. For example, ICICI, Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India, has become the universal bank by reverse merger with its subsidiaries ICICI Bank. Now the next part is Discount and Finance House of India, DFHI. Discount and Finance House of India, DFHI, was set up in the year 1988. So DFHI, that is Discount and Finance House of India, was for the first time set up in the year 1988 as a money market institution based on recommendation of Bagul Committee. So it was established in the year 1988 on the recommendation of the Bagul Committee. It is jointly owned by the RBI, Public Sector Bank, financial institutions to impart the liquidity to the money market institutions. I hope the DFHI is clear. It was set up in the year 1988. It was established on the basis of recommendation given by Bagul Committee. It is a bank which is jointly owned by RBI, Public Sector Bank, and the finance institution. It imparts the liquidity to the money market instruments. Now the next one is unorganized sector. The unorganized sector of the money market in India basically deals with indigenous banker, money market, money lender, unregulated non-financial intermediaries. The activities of the unorganized money market are largely confined to the rural areas. So the unorganized sector of the money market deals with the indigenous banker, money lenders, and unregulated non-bank financial intermediaries. Basically, this unorganized sector of the money market are found in the rural parts of the India. It is mainly confined to the rural part of the India. This mainly covers the indigenous banker, money lender. Now let us see what is indigenous banker. Indigenous banker are the financial intermediaries that functions similar to bank. It is also the financial institutions that function similar to the bank. They mostly deal with the indigenous short-term credit such as hundi. So it provides the short-term money which is known as hundi. The rate of interest differs from one market to the another market. Since it is an unorganized sector, so the rate of interest charged by them also differs from one market to the another market. Indigenous bankers are mostly confined to the social strata. They are the important source of fund in unbanked area. When we move to the rural areas, these indigenous bankers are the important source of the money since they provide the loan directly to agriculture, trade, and industry. Next one is money lender. The money lender mostly operates in the villages. When we move to the village, we mostly find the money lender are the important source of the money. Money lenders are usually charging the high rate of interest. Since they provide the money in the rural area, but they charge very high rate of interest for these loans. The loans provided by the money lenders are both productive and unproductive purpose. Say the money lender provide the loan for both the productive purpose and for also the unproductive purpose. Agricultural laborers, small and marginal farmers, artisans, small traders, etc. usually borrow the money from the money lender. At present, the activities of the money lenders have been restricted by the RBI due to the exploitative tendencies. Now the last one is unregulated non-bank financial intermediaries. Unregulated non-bank financial intermediaries, this includes chit funds, nidhis, loan companies, etc. Under chit fund, members make regular contribution to the fund. Under chit fund, all the members make the regular contribution to the funds. The bids or draws are made on the basis of criteria mutually agreed upon the member. So it provides the money on the basis of the bids or the draws, which is due to the mutual understanding among the member. Accordingly, the collected fund is given to the chosen member. Chit fund mostly operates in Kerala, Tamil Nadu. So chit fund is mostly found in the areas like states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Nidhi is also the type of mutual benefits fund contributing to its member. Loans are provided to the member at reasonable rate of interest. Nidhis provide the loans at the reasonable rate of interest. Loan companies are finance companies. They provide the loan to the traders, small industries, self-employed persons. Being unregulated, they charge a very high rate of interest on loans. So this diagram which we see below indicates the structure of the unregulated non-bank financial intermediaries. It basically deals with nidhi, chit fund and loan companies.